Hey everybody, it's your girl, Amy Warrior Princess, and Shari from the Swamp. We are coming to you to do our monthly mysteries, and this month we are doing um, disappearances, weird disappearances, unsolved disappearances that nobody has been able to solve. And Shari and I went through a few, and we decided to try to figure out what happened to Gerald and Carrie Potter. Now,
Or technically Gerald. I think she's still alive and going, huh?
Gerald Potter, well, she might still be alive because this happened back in what, June 1st of 1968?
I was
Um,
7.
June 7th? Oh, I'm close. June 7th in 1968. Um, and they were
Hi, Teresa.
going, huh?
I was saying hi to Teresa.
Oh, hey, Teresa, how you doing, girl? I was so into what I'm doing, I forgot to look at the chat. I'm so
That's all right. I'll
sorry.
look at the chat. You tell the story. So,
Okay. Um, what happened was they were going from Illinois to Texas on like a charter plane. So you know how small those things are. Um, so uh it was just a small charter flight. Were like 23 people on it, 23 passengers, and they were going to a Lions Club convention, right? So no big deal. Uh he halfway through the flight, Gerald needed to go use the loo. So he got up, um, and then as he got up, there was some turbulence. So after a while, his wife Carrie was like, "Where is he? Where is he?" So he asked the stewardess if she could please go check on her husband. So they go and check, and they see that the door to the plane is open, and the flotation thing to just go whoop is out. And they're like, "What happened?" What? Because you would think that they would something would happen, um like up in the cockpit, something would light up or something to let you know that the door is open to the plane. But uh no, nothing, no, nobody. um
we've got
hey,
two
go
Teresas
Teresa.
in the.
Yeah, hey, two Teresas. Woo. Yeah, yeah, the door to the plane was open, and the flotation thing for you to get out, whoo, was on, was deflated. But nothing. There was no beep beep beep. There was no air pressure. Nothing. The plane was just
That's
going.
what's weird to me is the fact that there wasn't an air pressure or a cabin pressure change when
I
that
know,
outer
right?
door opened. You would think if the outer door was closed when they took off and then opened in mid-flight, that would create one hell of a suction.
Wouldn't it?
If you look at it aeronomically, yeah, that's the way it works. Um, so that's like, okay, this is really weird. And most planes, even back then, had an alarm on them if somebody tried to open the door in mid-flight. There would be an alarm or something to go off,
But there was nothing.
but there was no alarm. So I'm like, okay, well, how the hell did the door get open and no alarm get triggered? And how did he fly out and not not have his body found. I mean, they had people searching for weeks, um,
Nothing.
backtracking the whole area that they had flown, according to what I read, and it's like nothing, not a scrap of clothing, not a hint of body parts, nothing. Just
And the thing is, in order to get that door open, you really had to wrench it open.
yeah, it's one of those doors you have to turn. It's like if you're on a ship and you got to open the hatch. You got to turn that knob so many times, and it's really really tight. Airplane is basically the same thing. They've got this big like knob lever thing that they've got to turn, and you got to
Uh-huh.
put some muscle in it to be able to turn it. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
And
Thanks for coming, everybody.
yeah, I mean, if it and it seems to me like if somebody was making all that effort to open that door, somebody would have heard them. So it just makes me wonder if maybe the door was never closed to begin with, and they
But
just
they
thought it was
can't take the plane.
closed.
They can't take off without the clay paint door being closed.
But that's what I mean. If there was some kind of malfunction in the door lock or in the alarm codes or anything like that, the door very well could have been, not wide open, but could have been open just enough that um, pressure kind of kept it looking closed, but it wasn't really latched. Um,
No, it was a little charter plane, not Boeing. It was a little charter plane.
yeah. So it's just weird. It's just when I watched the little video you sent me, I was like, that's the one that struck me. Was like, okay, that's just odd. How do you get an outer door open in mid-flight and nobody's aware? I don't. It was in 1968, Teresa. It I don't
So
understand
now it would be
how.
19, it would be 50, 3, 4, 5, it's 56 years ago. 56 years ago now.
Yeah.
So,
So either he perpetrated the greatest fraud ever,
which I
or he
doubt.
got sucked out and torn to pieces when he got sucked out and got ate before the people could go look for him. Or Scotty beamed him up
I was
in
thinking that
mid
too.
P. It's
I was thinking, what if aliens took him?
that was my thought. It's like what if he got like zapped by aliens in the middle of taking a piss in the toilet? I mean, that
I'm
would
sorry to
be.
laugh at that,
But
but I'm
that's a
laughing the
funny
way you
thought.
said it.
That's the thought I had. It was like, okay, could you imagine you're standing there holding your thingy in your hand to pee, and suddenly you're zapped into an alien ship with all these beings around you? I
Hey,
mean, high
spirits.
spirits. That would just be wild. Wild, you
Uh-huh.
know?
I mean, because for the life of me, I can't. I watched it. I've watched it more than once, and I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I watched it several times last night and was like, okay, this just doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm. Because,
Shit.
and I don't think, no, I don't think he was planning to do it because, um, um, he was planning to go to a Lions convention, and all he wanted to do was go to the bathroom.
That's what I mean. Can you imagine you're standing at the toilet And with a man, he's going to be standing, and all of a sudden, Scotty beams you up. I mean, that would be
And then
freaky.
all of a sudden you're standing there somewhere else and you're in flagrante. Whoops.
That would just be
I'm sorry. I
wild.
don't mean to
I
laugh. Um,
you have to laugh because it's funny as hell. It's like,
but it wasn't funny to him though.
well, we
That's
don't
why I
think
don't
it
want to
was. I
laugh.
mean, I have got the wildest cards. Oh my God.
Yeah, he must have finished in the bathroom or something. I don't know how he could still be president and not be allowed in 37 countries, Spirit. No, I doubt he could have
He
gone through
can't
the.
get security briefings either
No,
because he's considered a risk
a risk.
to our national
Yeah,
security. So how the hell do you become president and you can't get security briefs?
but he's still going through with all of this crap. I don't know,
That's
but just
because
no,
he thinks that the only way he's going to get out of this is that if he becomes president again and he'll make himself a dictator, which he's already told us that was day one. He was going to make himself a dictator. And that's it. We're forever changed. I mean, can we
but
get it back? Yeah, well, I'm sure we probably could, but
just know
it's
that
the
he's not going to become
trauma of
president.
going through that. It's like, and I like what Arthur says. Arthur says you have to be breathing to be president.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not going to become
And
president.
when he came out of that courtroom Friday after 34 counts guilty, I was like, hallelujah. He was, you could see the anger. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I am so tired today.
Her
You
and me
could
both.
see the anger just radiating off of him. He was so pissed.
Because he can't control it. He's not in control anymore.
Yeah, he never was in control.
Nope.
He was
It.
just led to believe he was in control.
Yep.
Okay, well, I just asked for a
I
general
got
reading.
some funky cards.
Yeah, me too. I just did a general pull, 5-card pull, just to kind of get a feel for the energy. First card I got was the Wheel of Fortune.
Hey, Fleck.
Hey, Fleck. So right off the bat, that's craziness right there. You know, Wheel of Fortune. The first card on the deck, you know.
That's
But then I
usually a
got
good
the
card.
Star.
Woo.
And so I'm thinking, are you referencing star people or starships or something along those lines? I mean, then I pulled the Magician, which is considered like the great alchemist. He's got all the tools at his fingertips of all the other gods and goddesses to work with. And then I got the Knight of Cups. And I'm like, okay, what? The Knight of Cups. I mean, at least he's moving forward. But it just makes me wonder, did he actually move on? Or is he being held captive somewhere and nobody knows anything about it? Because the last card I got was the Eight of Swords. And she's bound up. Can't get out. And so I mean, I can understand if the door wasn't shut properly. Logic tells me the door wasn't shut properly. And for whatever reason, he leaned against it, fell against it, pushed it open, thinking it was the bathroom, just to get sucked out. You're gone, you know. Um, and if he landed in an ocean somewhere, he's really gone. He's fish food the minute he landed. Um, so this card is the only one that makes the most sense, and that's because of it's. I'm trying to put my thoughts together here. I lost it. Whatever it was I was going to say went zip right out my brain.
Yeah, I
Your
know the
turn.
feeling.
Your turn. What did you draw?
Yeah, mine were weird. I drew no major arcana,
I drew three.
but the ones I drew were in this order. Okay, Three of Cups,
Okay.
Six of Swords, which is transition, Knight of Cups, the Empress. Well, I take that back. I drew one. Sorry. Sorry. The Empress, Knight of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So I was sitting here going, what in the world are you trying to tell me?
I drew
So
for my star seed. Is that it? Star seed oracle portal.
I just drew from my I'm just
He stepped through a portal.
I just drew from my regular tarot deck. Yeah, but I the one card that really speaks to me out of this whole thing is
Oh,
it's the Six of Swords, which si- it says transition at the top. So, um, yeah, he could have, like you said, he at the beginning there was a couple, Gerald and Carrie Potter. They were flying from Illinois to Texas for a Lions convention. And in the middle of the flight, Gerald decided to get up and go to the bathroom. And in the middle of the flight, his wife is like, and after a while is like, where is he? So the stewardess goes to check, and the door is open, and the thing to slide down on is out, and he's gone. He is completely gone. So we're uh, drawing cards on to find out what happened to him. So and there's nobody was ever able to find any trace of him whatsoever.
no, it's like
None.
he stepped through a portal, and that's one of the cards I drew. A portal.
Yeah, me too. I drew the Six of Swords, which signifies transition. So, yeah, we're thinking that he got, stepped through a portal, or, uh, they pulled him through there. Like, they sensed that the door was going to come open. So they pulled him through a portal to save him.
Yeah,
Um,
that's saving him.
yeah. Um, so And this was just a little charter plane. This wasn't a huge plane like Boeing or whatever. This was just a little charter plane that held like 23 people um plus the crew.
Yeah,
So um maybe uh maybe it wasn't aliens, maybe it wasn't aliens, maybe it was people from another dimension.
that's what that's what I'm getting with this card, portal, and that's what I'm getting with this card, the star,
Hey, Fleck.
because you've got all the stars of the constellation there, and the magician card, which is he's got everything at his disposal of what he's going to use or what he's going to do. Yeah,
No,
just a
it wasn't.
really weird reading.
Yeah, it wasn't a parachute because if he jumped with the parachute, they'd be able to find him.
He'd at least be able to find the parachute. Because
Mhm.
well, this is today's time. I guess back in 68, they may not have had them. But I know nowadays it's a lot harder to get lost when you're up in the woods simply because you've either got a phone with GPS tracking on it or a multitude of other things where you're able to see what's going on and give your opinion without actually being there. Um,
Yeah, there
Sorry,
were
I'm having leg
21.
cramps here.
Yeah, there
Um,
were 21 other passengers besides Gerald and Carrie.
and from
Nobody
all
knew that the door
accounts that
opened.
I've read, they had a happy marriage. So it wasn't like
Mhm.
he was trying to disappear so she couldn't rake him over the coals. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
just very weird.
It yeah, back in 1968, this is around the time of like
I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
that's all right. This was around the time of uh the Cooper guy that jumped out of the plane and took the money. They
DB
never
Cooper.
found
Yeah.
yeah, they never found the money. They never found all the money or him, but they found the parachute. So if he
Yeah.
had jumped out of the plane with a parachute, they would have at least found the parachute if he wanted to jump out of the plane.
Well, and I don't know going back that far, but I mean, I know nowadays parachutes have an automatic homing beacon on it.
Yeah,
So that if you land wrong or land in water or something and you're just hanging on for dear life in the middle of the ocean, that coat can be your ticket to get out of it because it's already charged up and ready to go.
true. Yeah, no one saw it, Kathy. No one. No one heard the door open. There was no beeping. There was no air pressure change.
Yeah,
Nothing.
because you would think if somebody opened the door, an outer door on an airplane in mid-flight, there would definitely be a cabin pressure change. I mean, that just goes without saying. I mean, even if they were flying low, only 5 or 10,000 feet, which is dangerously low for a plane to be flying, but even at that latitude, that still requires emergency response because of what went wrong. And can we get them back down? Whether if it's an airplane or a space shuttle, I don't think it really matters. Um,
Hmm.
Sorry, y'all. I have to stand from having bad leg cramps right now. They've been doing it to me all weekend. And I have to just kind of stand until I can't stand anymore. Trying to
Oh,
work them out.
sweetie.
Um,
Oh dear. Everybody pray for Sherry. Oh,
I appreciate it.
oh, oh, and also Happy Gay Pride Month.
Yes, one of my goals this weekend was to put my banner up on my Facebook, and it's just one thing after another. I haven't been able to get to it, and it's like when I'm not actually purposefully doing something, I'm falling asleep because I'm just been really, really tired. I don't know why, but there you go.
Same, same. And also too, I was thinking, Kathy brought something to my attention yesterday when I was doing a reading for her. She brought up the Philadelphia experiment. Like people,
Drive
um,
careful. There's supposed to be more storms tonight. Okay. Okay, leave the door cracked. Okay, I'm sorry.
bye, Lewis.
He
Um,
can't hear you. I got my earbuds in.
oh, okay. But Kathy suggested, doing the one on the Philadelphia experiment where people disappeared. Half of the people came
And
back
those
and
that
half of the people did not.
and some came back like embedded in the bulkheads and indoors and stuff. Like
Yeah,
their bodies were like half on one side of a metal door and the other half on the other side of the door, just
yeah,
which was I can't even imagine the kind of pain that would be.
yeah, and I'm sure
I
they
mean, think
didn't
about it.
survive.
It'd be like being impaled. One minute you're standing there, and the next second, when you're aware, you've been impaled by half of a ship. I mean, it's like, oh, wait, holy crap, that's kind of wild. Um,
Hey, Sylvia.
oh, hi, Sylvia. Um,
Hey,
as soon
girl.
as my legs stop spasming, I'll be able to sit back down. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, just really, really. It's just like I said when I watched the little video you sent me, because I don't watch or read up a lot on what the stuff Amy sends me. I let her research it, and then I'm kind of going in cold reading it. And it was like 4 stories, I think, in that one little video you sent, and
Hmm.
they were all intriguing, but it was the last one that just really jumped out at me. It was like, oh wow, wait a minute, let me
Hmm.
see if I can fix my camera
Yeah.
so that while I'm standing up, y'all can
I just sent you
I
some
can
healing
be
energy. Did you feel it?
um is that better? Yeah, now you can see me. Let's see if I move it this way. There we go. Now I'm in the middle. Okay. I just turned my other camera on. That's all.
Yeah.
Because I
I
can't
just,
sit down right now. My legs are like I'm having massive spasms in my legs. It's that restless leg syndrome.
yeah.
When it hits, it's like there ain't nothing I can do about it. Just gotta ride it out because I could take a pill for it, but a pill knocks me out. In 30 minutes, I am like out cold. And I've already been
Oh,
sleeping most of the day. I'm
uh,
still in my nightgown, y'all. Forgive me. I'm
and
still in my moo.
that's all right. Wear your moo with pride.
That's right. Yeah,
Wear
it's
that
comfy.
moo.
It's my new one too. I just got it.
It
Uh,
pretty.
got my big Hawaiian flowers on it.
I like those flowers. Wear that moo. I just sent you some healing energy, so hopefully that works.
Cool. Hopefully they'll straighten up in a minute.
So let's read on the Philadelphia experiment and try to see what happened there.
Okay.
Because with Gerald, I keep wanting to call him Jared. I'm sorry, Gerald. I think what
Gerald.
happened
Yeah.
was he just got they put him through a portal to help save him from going through the
Yeah,
the
that's
door that wasn't latched shut properly. Somebody didn't shut it properly, and just when he walked by it or was close to it, the door came open and they
and he got sucked out. Yeah,
either sucked out and they put him through a portal, or they put him through the portal and the door opened. One of the two.
yeah. Okay. Philadelphia experiment. Those are the wrong cards for that.
And I bet after they, the people in charge of that experiment, I bet you they felt like complete crap.
Yeah, Teresa, I take magnesium every day, twice a day, actually. We've tried all kinds of stuff for this. It's called restless leg syndrome. They used to have commercials for it on TV. I don't know if they still
Yep.
do it or not. I don't have TV, but
No, not much anymore.
and they always made it seem like it was just, your legs bothered you or something. It's like, no, it's a lot worse than that.
Yeah. I don't have that, but every once in a while I have spasms in my ankles and in my feet because of my cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Sometimes they hurt, sometimes they don't, and it always seems to happen when I want to sleep.
Yeah, there's something about when you get into that relaxed mode and it's like the muscles don't want to cooperate with you.
Nope.
Okay.
So then I just go and take another baclofen, and then it stops.
Okay, this is just weird.
See. Oh. 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 Yeah. These cards are making sense. Okay. Would you like to go first, ma'am, or do you want me to go
Yeah.
first?
Okay, my first card I got was a Knight of Swords. So they were going to go through with this experiment regardless. Just you were going to do it, even with some of the drawbacks that may have been prevalent in that. And then I got the Emperor. So that's authority saying, do it. We don't care what you say, do it. And then I got the Five of Wands. So right away there's conflict. There's disagreements, a lot of tension. I think with those who knew what was going to happen, for I think the majority of the crew, they had no clue what was about to happen to them. They were completely clueless. They didn't know they were part of an experiment. From what I have read in the past, they were, they were like, what the hell is happening here? And then I pull the Five of Swords. More conflict, more tension, more almost a
Mm-hmm.
hostility, bullying type of atmosphere by the higher ups. You're going to do this. They did it. It turned out bad. And they're like, you're going to keep your mouth shut about it. Because
Mm-hmm.
nobody talked about it for a long damn time. But then it ends with the Three of Cups. So I think what I'm feeling with this is the what I'm feeling with this is for those that survived it, for the men that survived what happened and maybe later on found out what the hell happened, there was most people in the military will tell you there's like a brotherhood that forms
Mm-hmm.
because, you know that they got your back and you got theirs. And that's what's going to keep them from, that's what allows them to go to sleep at night because they know somebody's got their back and is keeping watch, vice versa. Um, so that I think cemented for most of them. I think it cemented that keeping it close, keeping it to themselves, not sharing what was going on. That brotherhood, it just made it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
For those that were injured, who found themselves impaled by half of a ship or something, part of one floor and another floor, whatnot. How the hell do you get them out of that?
You can't.
Exactly. So I think it's if any of those people actually survived, I can't even imagine the kind of trauma that they were going through. Um, that's just that's just wild. But what they were trying to do, and I'm going on very sketchy memory here. It's been a long time since I read on anything about the Philadelphia experiment. They were trying to do a cloaking where they could cloak the ships and stuff
Mm-hmm.
so that they could get into enemy territory and no one would see them coming. Like in Star Trek or something. They're cloaked like the Romulan ships in Star Trek. They're cloaked. You can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't work. And then another part of the experiment was also trying to time travel, like to move them, like to cloak them and then move them from one place to another place, like instantly, so that you could literally put a ship or a tank or whatever behind enemy lines. No one would see it coming. It would just be there and could cause all kinds of damage. But it didn't work.
I think they should have just done the cloaking, and that's it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
both.
That's
They bit
so
off
that was
more
what
than
in
they
the
could chew.
50s they did that? Was that the 40s or the 50s?
50s.
Was it the 50s they did that? So,
I mean, we could do. I
there
mean, we're closer to doing it now, but we still can't.
no or
But we're
public knowledge
closer.
thinks that we still can't. Um, there was a lot of people that talked about that I had read on that I'm remembering that a lot of what they were attempting to do was information they had gotten from extraterrestrial ships that had crashed here.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to mechanically reverse how these ships worked. And
Oops.
that's what they were trying to do. So
Oops.
yeah, it's like whoops, that didn't
Yeah.
work.
Don't mess with things you don't know. Yeah.
I'm telling you. Let me see. Do I get any verifiers on this? Go ahead and show your cards. Well, I'm gonna pull some
Um.
extra cards on this.
The the cards that I got um were uh out of order, but I had to put them in order. But these were the cards that I got. Um, I got the Queen of Pentacles. They were in the card on the top is abundance. They were thinking, oh, with this, we're going to make lots and lots of money. We're going to be able to get lots of money, and we're going to, but be able to um uh give this out to all sorts of countries, and we're going to, the US is going to be rich with this, right? It'll
Yeah,
help us first, but then after we're done with it, we can give it to other countries, our allies, so we can beat our enemies. Um, and then the next card I got was the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity. With this, we'll be unbeatable. Then I got, and then I also got the Emperor. Great minds. And they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah.
yeah,
And then I got the star. They're like, yeah, well, yeah. We just, at this point, we got a little bit too full of ourselves. We're unbeatable. We can get this done. We'll figure this out.
yeah,
Um, and then at the height of the whole thing, we were getting ready to go out, and we were just, I got Ace of Cups. At this point, this is where we were taking the ship out, and we were getting ready to test it, and we were, full of ourselves, and I can see it. I can see it in my mind's eye. We were taking the ship out, and we were doing the men were on the ship, and and um and we're like, yeah, this is gonna work, and everything will be great. And on here it says yes, and in their minds everything was gonna be fine. But then disaster struck. Oh no. The Nine of Swords. Oh crap. What do we do now?
yeah,
What do we do now? Half of the men disappeared and half the men are impaled. Crap. How do we explain this malarkey?
yeah.
How do
What?
we get them out?
Yeah. I drew some
Um,
clarifiers. Are you through
yeah.
with your cards?
Um, well, almost. And then I drew the Seven of Swords. I drew the Deceit card. Seven of Swords. They're like, well, we'll just, just tell some lies and tell them, what they want to hear, because we're not going to tell the truth of what really happened. And then And then I drew the Tower card. And it just went down all around them, and they got caught, and they got called out by
Yeah.
everyone around them.
Yeah.
And then judgment got them.
Because I have a feeling that those in leadership, looking at my qualifiers here, I'm thinking that those in leadership weren't aware of the extent of what this experiment was going to be. And so they were given orders, go do it, without understanding what the possible risks might be. And I'm saying that because one of my clarifiers was the Queen of Wands.
Right.
So,
I got the
you
King of
know,
Pentacles.
right. So that's two queens right there. That's pretty major, in Queen of Wands, this is somebody very optimistic. This is going to work. This is going to do what we need it to do, because they were going on half-baked information. And then I got the Four of Swords. So they were thinking this will help bring in peace.
Well, the
Because
government
we'll
back
have,
then, because the government back then wasn't a good government. Not like now. The democratic part of it, anyway.
yeah, followed by the Hierophant. So again, this is more authority saying, go, do it. This is going to work. This is their optimism coming through, saying, well, of course it's going to work. We're Americans. Of course it's going to work.
Yeah.
That's part of that ego that comes through. And then I've got the Six of Swords. Now they're busy packing up and getting the hell out of Dodge, trying to just distance themselves from what happened. Those that survived probably went through intensive
PTSD.
Well, not just that, but I mean, just in what the military does best, and that's in making you go over every little step and then turning it around so that you don't even know what you believe anymore.
Yep.
Okay. And so this is them trying to move on from what happened. It didn't happen. You saw a man halfway through a door. How is that possible? You didn't see that. Because the ones that were impaled and stuff didn't live. I don't think any of them lived. How the hell could you?
No.
When you got a door or an entire floor halfway through your body, cutting you in half. I mean, that's wild when you think about it. It's not like just being impaled and you got something stuck in you. It's not like you got a sword or a steel rod or something that's piercing through you and coming out the other end. That's one thing. People survive that. Not always, but some do. But this is like, half of your body's on one side of the door and the other half's on the other. There's a metal door in between. Now, how are the two halves supposed to, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, and Kathy was asking, where did all the other people that disappeared go? Now, I think um what happened to Gerald, I think they were sent to another dimension.
yeah, or another timeline.
Or another timeline.
Yeah, they were just put on another timeline.
Another, like people say that they, are in one timeline and then they wake up and then they're in another timeline. where things are the same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could have happened.
Two of Pentacles.
Yeah.
A balancing act of what they were trying to do. Page of Swords. They're changing what happened. They're rewording it to match what they needed to match. The Six of Wands. They want to be able to ride off in glory, and we did this wonderful thing despite the dead men that were left behind.
Hmm. But it's not like they wanted to disappear. They just automatically disappeared.
Queen of Cups. More emotion going through.
Yep, that's what I drew. Yep.
Strength. They had to be resolute in what they were doing. They had to be strong in sticking to the story. And in convincing those that were involved that what happened didn't happen. Ending with the Ace of Swords.
Well, in the walls and the doors and the floors, they probably buried them. If they didn't survive, they either
Yeah, they would have
probably
had to
locked
have
them
come up with a
away.
story of how those men died, you know.
They either probably locked them away or just came up with a lie of how they didn't survive. That was the government back then. They were just full,
It still is. I mean,
well, certain people, not
there's,
everybody.
well, things that happen in the military,
Yeah.
administrations don't necessarily know what's going on until after the fact.
Yeah.
It tends to be better today than it was back then, where I think most presidents and their staff made a point of letting the military do what the military are doing and just give me the outcomes. I don't need to know the details. But I think they got away with that because so many in. All right, I think I can sit now.
Are you
Because
okay?
so many, yeah, I just I gotta go back to my other camera now so I can sit down. Okay. And oh,
Hey,
okay,
woo!
yeah. I think they're gonna behave now. Um
Well, no,
so
the ones that vanish are literally in another timeline. They're like another dimension. So you can't contact them. They're literally gone. Gone, gone.
it jumped out.
Ooh. Yeah, I drew that. Yep. Because if they vanished then and went to another timeline, then they're gone, gone, and they're in another dimension, in another timeline. So you'll
You
never
know,
see them
Kathy, I
again.
know that there were those that participated in the experiment who were the lucky ones. They were still intact, I guess you could say, when it was all over and done with. Um, I think that after a while, there were several of them that made a point of leaking the story, of leaking the facts of what went on so that
Mhm.
it didn't happen again. That would be, Spirit was telling me they tried to tell what was going on and nobody believed them.
Mhm.
nobody believed the just the hugeness of what they were trying to do. No one believed that. No one believed them. It wasn't until years later when more men, once they were up in their 70s and 80s, were willing to step forward and say something. And you still have those that came forward and say, yeah, it's all a bunch of BS. None of that ever happened. So,
Yeah. It's, you know, things happen for sure. And it's like, oh, no, it didn't happen. Yes, it did. And then years later, it comes out, oh, yeah, it really happened, you know. Um,
yeah,
you know,
look at all the chaos and misdirection we went through with the pandemic.
yeah.
And people being told one thing, do this, it means that, take this, go here, because the administration that was in office at that time was doing anything and everything they could to cover up as much as they could instead of stepping into it like honorable people would and accept the blame and say, now we got to fix it. I was wrong, I screwed up,
Mm-hmm.
now we got to fix it. They didn't do that. um
Yeah. Yeah, spirits. It's like slips in time happen. It's like, yeah, slips in time happen, even to
how many
us.
times have you been in a car driving down the road and it's a normal path, you take it all the time, and you get in the car and you look at your watch and, okay, it's 5:15, I got to be home by 5:45 in order to get dinner started on time. And the next thing you know, you're pulling into the driveway and you don't remember driving home. You don't remember any of the trip. It's like your brain goes into autopilot and shuts off. And you're just going through the motions. And you get home and you look at your watch and it's 5 minutes later, not 20 minutes later. You know, it's like, how the hell did
Mhm.
I get all the way home in 5 minutes? That's not possible. So it's, I think it has, I personally believe that it has to do with what kind of time warp you went through. You know,
Yep.
if it was just a little blip in time, or if you actually left one timeline and came back to the one that you originally started at. Um, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Real life is stranger than fiction
absolutely.
sometimes. Sometimes. And I've seen some stuff that's weird as heck. You know, being who I am and being able to do what I'm able to do, I've seen some stuff that's weird as heck.
I worked in the medical field for over 30 years. I saw all kinds of weird shit.
You know, it's like, holy
That
crap.
truly boggles the mind when you go back and think about
Uh-huh.
how did that,
It,
I worked at a
yeah,
plasma center for many years. And towards the end of my tenure there, they had a mishap where the floor worker that was bringing the blood back to the patients to infuse their blood back into them, because we just extracted the plasma out of it. And this is back when it was still the old fashioned way. You had to bleed out a bag. You had to, grommet it off and clip it, bring it to the centrifuge, have it spun, separated. They would press out the plasma and then bring the blood back and go back into the donor. And in the process of bringing back blood, a worker mixed two bags up,
Oops.
and he didn't check. He didn't do the formal check you're supposed to do when you brought a bag of blood to a person and say, John Doe, number 1234, this is yours, right? And you make that person verbally look at the bag and say, literally look at the bag and verbally tell you, yeah, that's my blood. He didn't do that. He just tossed it on the chair, tossed the other one on the chair, and kept going, doing
Oh.
what he was doing. And now that blood was going to sit there on that chair until another worker comes up and hooks it to the saline to infuse it back into the red blood so that they can put it back into the donor, right? And they come up and they're hooking everything up and shaking it up. Never once asked the donor, is this you? Is that your name? Is that your donor number? Didn't do it. They hooked up this guy and he had like half of the bag pumped into him before they discovered that he had the person next to him's bag. The person next to him had his bag, and they were two different blood types. And I mean, we had to call ambulance immediately when it was discovered. The employee that did it was horrified that it happened, the two people that were involved. But it just goes to show what happens when you don't do your job the way it's meant to be done, especially in the medical field. That's how
Oh.
most accidents happen in the medical field, is because somebody's taking a shortcut. And
Mm-hmm.
they're not taking that extra 30, 45 seconds to say, is this you, John Doe, number one? Your number's 12345. Is this, look at it. Because they would come and hold it up, and I had worked the floor. I knew how it went. You'd come and you'd hold it up and da da da. Is this you? And the person sitting in the chair would never look up and say, yep, that's me. And I'd be like, well, how do you know? You haven't looked at it. What if I gave you the wrong blood?
Mm-hmm.
And then usually they would look, pick up their head and look at it and say, yeah, it's me. And I'd be like, okay, that's all I need. You look at it and tell me, yeah, it's yours. That's not what happened that one time. You know, people taking shortcuts and not paying attention to what they were doing. And the second person that came along as the check on to make sure this was going to the right person, they did the same thing the first person did. They just, oh, yep,
Mm-hmm.
spike it and put it up. And yeah, that could be very, very, very discouraging because these are people's lives in your hands.
Yep.
They very easily could have killed somebody that day. Fortunately, it was caught before too much was put back in them, and we were
Did
able to get them in an ambulance to the hospital right away
did they lose their
because we didn't
jobs?
know. Oh yeah, oh yeah. They not only lost their jobs, but they had legal charges against them for it because we're dealing with
Wow.
blood products. Yeah, yeah. You're dealing with blood products, so they don't mess around about that.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's like in the job I have now. If I make a mistake, it's just more work for me because I got to turn around and go fix the mistake and redo the paperwork. It's not life or death. No one's going to
Right.
die if I do it wrong or if I miss something. They may be inconvenienced. We may have to put in for another quote to update it to include what I had forgotten. Um, but yeah, it just, you have to be aware and on point, especially in a job in the medical field. I mean, if I screw up and something's late where I'm at now, it just means I have more paperwork the next day to redo it and fix it. It's no big deal. Nobody's life is on the line because of it.
Yeah.
And so,
If anybody is wondering what I'm eating Skittles.
Skittles.
I decided to go and buy a bag of berry Skittles. So I got Skittles.
This is what I was munching on earlier.
Oh, yum. Yeah.
Cheetos. They had the Cheetos and Doritos on sale at the grocery store yesterday. If you bought 3 bags, you could get them for $1.97 a bag. But
Oh,
you had to buy
cool.
3 or 4 bags. So
Oh,
I was able to get 3 bags of chips for the price of one. You know, what
I
I
was,
paid for those 3 bags is what I would pay for just a regular 1 bag of chips. And I
yeah,
was able to get 3 different kinds. So
I haven't had Skittles and actual Skittles in forever. So,
I don't like them. I never liked Skittles. So M&Ms, yeah, I can dig out on M&Ms, but I never was crazy about Skittles. I
well,
don't know why they're just not my taste bud, but
I drink the berry Skittles drink mix, and I like how they taste. So I got the actual Skittles.
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, do y'all have any other questions to go with this? We've been at this over an hour. Wow, I didn't realize we've been on that long.
Didn't seem like it.
No,
So we have fun. And yeah, anybody else have any questions?
maybe we can cover Area 51 another day. That would be interesting.
Huh?
Area 51. Someone mentioned Area 51.
Oh yeah, that would
I
be
said
cool.
maybe we could. Now I got the hiccups. It's like maybe we can cover that another day. You know,
Yeah, we could. Area 51. Well, it's not, it's not open now. They don't use it anymore, but it did for a while.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think it ever really closed. I think they just made people think that it closed. Again,
true.
you're talking very highly classified information. And having had military people in my family, my immediate family,
Mhm.
I, I,
Me
I,
too.
when they're like, I can't tell you what happened. I can't even begin to describe to you what happened because it's classified. You
Oh,
know,
wow. Wow. But yeah, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? What they actually had in there. Wow. Yeah, and every president that comes in has to be briefed on it.
yeah.
Because Biden knows about it.
Oh, he knows. He's been there forever and a day. He was in the Senate for over 30 years, then 8 years as vice president, and now he's wrapping up year 4 of being president.
Oh yeah, he knows
And
about
he's
it.
got 4 more to go. So, yeah, he knows things that most presidents would never learn about simply because it's on a need to know basis and they don't need to know, you know. Um, I mean, there's some of that information you don't tell someone like a President Trump what's
Oh,
happening
heck no.
because
Mm-mm.
first thing he'll do is pick up the phone and call Putin. Um,
He'll blab it. Yeah.
oh, yeah. So, and
I mean,
that's
he,
scary, you know.
he I mean he knows more than I'll ever know.
Just takes time and practice.
You know, that man is so smart, man. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? He makes a good president. In my opinion, he makes a great president. So, but anyway, we have been at this for a very long time. Poor
An hour and
Sherry.
10 minutes. And
Yeah.
I'm dropping. I'm drooping fast here. I'm
And I was gonna say poor Sherry
been
is about ready
so
to drop.
tired all weekend. It's like just no energy at all weekend long. It's just been like I could lay down right now and go back to sleep for a couple of hours.
Well,
But if I
Sherry,
do that, then I'll be up half the night and I got to get up at 5 a.m. and go to work tomorrow.
Well, it's
So
probably like really hot over there. It
no,
shouldn't
actually, it's
help.
been really cool because we've had so much rain. It
Oh,
cools everything off. So
okay. Well, that works. That works. But I would like to thank everybody. Oh, I was gonna say one last thing and then we'll leave you. I was dealing with some things on the phone a
hmm
couple times. And this last time I was on the phone with the credit card people,
hmm
I was I got this gentleman and I talked about that I have a YouTube channel. And he's like, "Oh, really? You have a YouTube channel?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a psychic medium." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I thought, he's like, "Really?" And he's like, I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, is it like on TV where they read your mind, you read their minds and all that?" And I'm like,
no,
"No.
it
I
don't
have
work that way.
no, I have to have a person's permission before and I
Yeah,
have to you have to ask a question first and then, you
yeah.
know." So he didn't believe me, okay? When I said that I have to have a person's permission, he almost immediately said, "Well, I give you permission. You have my permission." In a forceful way, he said this. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, he's like, "You didn't expect that, did you?" I was like,
Come here, let me punch you in the face. I bet you weren't expecting that either.
yeah." So I was like, "Well, okay,
I
he
know I'm
didn't."
tired now. I keep reverting to violent acts.
I know, right? That so I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put him in his place." So I closed my eyes and I was like, and I'm talking to him. I said, "Well, okay, I see water like an ocean, and I see a boat, a wooden boat, and I see you on the deck of the boat. I see you lying on the deck with your eyes closed and you're meditating and blah blah blah." And he is that I'm doing this. He's says I'm sitting here smiling from ear to ear. And and then when I was all done, he said, "Everything you said was spot on." And then he said
Yeah,
he
they're
has
usually glad to take the reading if it's all positive and then negative.
yeah,
But you let one reverse card show up and people freak out. It's like, yeah, no, it's normal. Don't let
yeah.
it get to you.
But everything was spot on because he said that he's part of a tribe that lives on or by the water, and every chance he gets, he's on the ocean on this boat meditating.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Whoa." So I reversed it back to him. I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm thinking, "Yeah, call me a fake."
yeah. It's like I'm prepared now. I know what to say back.
Yeah, yeah, call me a fake. Huh. I reversed it right back to you, dude. And I didn't know you from Adam. So it was, in a nice way I showed him up. But anyway, we gotta let you go before Sherry drops.
I'm telling you, I'm fading fast, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But
I
anyway, thank you everybody for
oh,
coming.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
every
We'll have another topic for next month.
mhm.
And
The first Sunday of every month. So the first Sunday
same
of
bat
July.
time, same bat channel.
Yep. 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. First Sunday of July. And thank you, everybody. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining the fam. Um,
Yay!
yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love
I
everybody. Love
was.
you all.
I haven't looked in a
And
while. Let me real quick see where I'm
no,
at.
okay.
I haven't. I haven't gone in there and looked at it in a bit. See what it looks like. I'm at 2184.
Hey, cool. Oh,
Wow.
Black is gonna go to the store to get some candy. Yeah, you go, girl.
Candy on, baby. Candy on. You gotta have it. I'm out
Candy
of candy.
on. Everybody gotta have their candy. You know,
I'm out of
gotta have
candy.
your little bit
Oh,
of
well.
candy. But yeah, you'll find out what we're gonna do next month, and we're gonna have fun
Hopefully, we'll
again,
let you know a week or two beforehand, so you'll and not the day of.
or the day
Part
before.
of that
It's
was
just
my fault because I didn't realize Amy had already sent me the information and I never responded back. So
yeah, I
it
sent it
happens to
like
the
the
best of
day
us.
after. I sent it to her the day after the last show, and it was so busy that she forgot, and I
I emailed her
forgot, and
yesterday. It's like, what are we doing? Did you send me anything?
and I was like, I sent it to you right after the show. She's like, oh,
I had to go find it. I don't know. At least I think I deleted it. At least you resent it. So, um,
yeah. So,
but
and with my busy month and everything, I forgot to do the thumbnail, so that's why it was so late getting up. But
yeah,
it's been a month, y'all. It's been a month, but we made it.
yeah, we're still here
Yeah.
by the hair
But
of our kitty chin.
yeah, I know, right? So, and thank you for everybody who watches it on replay. Thank you for,
Absolutely.
hello. Hello to everybody on replay.
Hello, and thank you for your support. And,
Yes, thank
uh,
you. We
if you
love
would like to
everybody.
support us financially to help us out, PayPal
Yes.
and Venmo for me, PayPal for Amy, and the links are on our pages. You can go to our homepage and pull everything up there. So
Yep. And if you feel so inclined, we have Amazon wish lists.
I just got a gift. Somebody sent me off of my Amazon wish list. Um, wait, y'all don't look at my mess because it's like really junky on the other side of the screen. It's the Queen of the Moon Oracle
Oh, yeah,
by
I've got that
Stacy
deck.
DeMarco. You got it?
Yeah.
I've had it on my wish list for the longest time. I thought, God,
Oh, if
those
I
look
would have
so
known that,
cool.
I would have gotten it for you.
Well, somebody else saw it on my wish list, and yesterday my son comes in and says, "You got a package?" I'm like, "A package? Why would I get a package? I haven't ordered anything." And he said, "Well, it's in your name," and it was a gift from somebody, so which was really sweet. And
Oh, that's a great deck. I love it.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. To getting to know. I haven't even taken the plastic off of it yet. I'm wait when
Well,
I
maybe
can
we can
have.
do a live where we just use oracles and, we could use
There
that
you
deck.
go. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
'Cause that's a good deck. It has good cards in it, gorgeous
Oh,
cards in
cool.
it.
Yeah, we can just go through each card and show everybody the cards and
Mhm.
then do some drawings off of it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to set that up. Yeah,
Definitely. Well,
for
you'll have
sure.
that to look forward to, everybody, too. Woo!
In a
So,
few weeks, I'm kind of booked up the next couple of weeks, so it'll be a little bit.
yeah.
It may even be July before we get to it. I don't know.
Well,
Every time I look at my calendar, I'm like, I don't want to look at it right now.
hey,
That's what I get for overbooking myself. Well, I
well,
took
you'll
that
have to,
like
watch it from now on,
almost 2 weeks off when I went to California. And so I had to reschedule a lot of stuff, which bumped into things already scheduled further down the road. And it's just been
Thanks, Fleck. Thank you for coming. See everybody in the chat again. Woo! Thanks for coming.
absolutely. I'll be back tomorrow night with Draining the Swamp. So with Mel and Arthur. And
Who knows? Maybe we can set up another show to figure something out. Who knows?
you never know.
Who knows?
One day at a time. One day at a time.
Yes, who knows? But anyway, thank you everybody. We love you
Bye,
all.
y'all.
Without you, we wouldn't have shows and we wouldn't have channels.
That's it.
So we love you all.
Y'all are why we do this.
Yep. We're here to help and we love you all. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.